punctuation is for a reader. Punctuation is not for life. We just don't operate like that. It's punctuation is so that you can make sense of it when you're looking at it. You can see complete thoughts, but we don't speak in punctuation. So I drop all the punctuation, and that even includes sometimes things like all caps or exclamation points, where you read that and be like, oh, I need to be yelling this this word or this phrase. And the other thing that I remove is most non-critical stage directions, like he sighed, or he raised his eyebrow, or he sat down, or he stood up. There's certain things like he pulls out his gun, like that kind of thing. It might be if it's a stage direction that's so big it's an event in the scene, where once that happens it changes the rest of the scene or changes you or your relationship to another person, then yeah, you probably have to keep that in. But things like sitting and standing, especially for an audition, it has nothing to do with the scene really, and it can all change too. And people sometimes come in and focus on that, where you will say like, oh well, it says I got to sit up, like sitting down into your chair or standing out of a chair is going to be this mind-blowing dramatic moment where they're like, oh, did you see how that guy sat down? Oh my God, what an artist. Is that Daniel Day-Lewis sitting in his chair? Like, no, it's in an audition, what they're mainly going to be focused on this. And then on the day when you book it, they're going to figure out all the blocking anyways. And all the blocking in the script might change because they might decide, oh, let's do this in the living room rather than in the kitchen. Or this was originally scripted as a walk and talk where you're going to be walking through the office and around the corner in the hallway. We're just going to do this whole scene in the boardroom anyways. And chances are the takes that are going to matter are the close-ups anyways, which the close-up is going to be right here to here. So whether you're sitting or standing is not going to make any difference. And so in your actual audition, if just to take this tangent a little bit, the idea of sitting versus standing, I would do whatever energetically feels good to you. I think most people like to stand and like the energy of standing, but if it's a scene where you're sitting, like you're a teacher at a desk or in a boardroom, or someone in an office type scenario, like a teacher or a principal, for example, or a boss in a meeting, then yeah, sit down at a desk. But don't worry about, oh my God, I got to stand up and I got to sit down. Nobody cares about that stuff. So again, my suggestion to everyone is try it on for size. And all these are suggestions. These are our
this is what we do.
Our checklist. But really what you want to do is you want to develop your own checklist and your own routine as a professional. Figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And if there's something new here, rather than resist it, have that beginner's mentality. And one of my mentors told me, when we're given new ideas and new information, try it on like a coat or a shirt. Try it on for size, wear it around for a couple of days, see if you like it, rather than being like, no, that's not what I like. That's not what I do. Doesn't sound right. Like, just try these on for size. That's all we're saying. But dropping the punctuation is huge. And what it ends up doing, especially the punctuation and non-critical stage directions, it almost guarantees that your audition tape is going to stand out and be different, because you're not following the exact beats that someone following punctuation is going to follow. It's going to be a little quicker because you're not pausing at every period. And you're not going to be doing all these moves of like, he sighed, oh, he raised an eyebrow, or he scratched his head. Like, I get that a writer's doing that to help the actor, but you're the actor. It's your job to decide what actions are connected to those words. It's really not the writer to be like, oh, he raised an eyebrow. Now, depending on the writer, I mean, if it was Christopher Nolan writing it, or David Fincher, or
Quentin Tarantino,
Aaron Sorkin, or Tarantino, then maybe I'd be like, this guy's fucking amazing. But even then, you still want to have your own personal power and your own agency as a performer.